POPP's Art Project came about through ArtShape's previous work with older people, where we'd worked with older people in various settings, and we'd found that creative work was extremely beneficial to well-being, and that people really got excited and really stimulated by it. Artists would go into a home and deliver a really excellent 10-week creative project, and the home would get all excited, the residents would be happy, and everybody wanted to know what next. And this project really concentrates on the sustainability of programmes, and aims to train the care workers, the activity coordinators, so that they carry on, they have the confidence to carry on leading the creative sessions once the artist has been and gone. The activity coordinator gets away day training where they learn techniques and facilitation skills.
Do you think that the training element to this, of training the staff, has been useful?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's worked well. I think because it's new to everybody, it's new to me, so it's a lot to learn and things to get used to. So I think at first it was a bit difficult with teething problems, but as it picked up, it's been a good experience all round, especially for the carers. It's been a good thing.
And do you think that the carers are more likely now to carry on doing art sessions than if you'd just come in and done 10 sessions with the group?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're able to pinpoint them in the right direction for all sorts of different things, whether it's health and safety, organising lessons or course, how the room's set up. It's really sort of clarified it for them all together, I think, and doing the written work as well, that's really tied it all in. At first I wasn't quite sure after 2 sessions whether they'd be able to actually run a session, but by the end, with the training days and their notes that they've taken and things they've done, I think they're quite capable of it now.
I think one of the most lovely things that was about the project was working with 2 different carers at Southfields, and there was one that was working as an activity coordinator and was very good at rallying around the troops and getting loads of people involved and inspiring people to come and be involved and get participating. And then there was another one that was a care worker, and she hadn't done this sort of thing before, and we came to sort of teaching practice, and her confidence wasn't great, but she's just really fantastic at cutting grass and involving the participants, and she just did the most fantastic teaching practice and was completely unconfident about it, and was just absolutely astounded by how much she'd come along over the sort of 10 weeks that she'd been involved, and it was lovely to see.
I'm pleased to say that we managed to establish a culture of creative activities in the particular home I worked in. We struggled to start with to build up a group, and at the end of the course there were many more participants, all chattering and together and enjoying the activity, and the atmosphere was very jubilant. Also, the student that I had, one of the care workers in the home, was very keen and very capable, and I felt that we planted a really good seed that she will make sure will grow in changing the culture of that particular place.
We had a discussion about names, didn't we? If you remember, Doris told us what her name was, her full name.
What was it?
Doris Maud Louise, was that? And she went back to when she used to do it with her children, because she's got 2 sons, so it actually brought some back memories for her. So yeah, that was quite nice. Yeah. And it's not till you actually sit back and think about the session that you realise what is actually going on.
No.
And another thing was, that I did put in there, that residents that don't usually sit together, resting as well. Hang on, Jim! did a course at Salmonsbury Residential Care Home in Bourton-on-the-Water. It's a very, very nice place. I had 2 care workers who were doing the course, Jill and Penny. They were pretty well supported in the home. There was a general kind of support for activities and creative activities, and a very positive atmosphere. We had a positive atmosphere from a lot of the staff and the management who dropped in during the sessions to give encouragement and to see how they were doing, and in particular to give Jill and Penny encouragement as well. Over the 10 weeks, we produced some really, well, the residents produced some really beautiful work, and as did the care workers themselves, because they had the opportunity to do their own little thing as well when there was a bit of time. Quite a few of the residents explored some new ideas, which took them a long way, I felt, you know, on a track of exploring their creativity. And they surprised themselves, which was actually very pleasant.
Nigel and I worked together for the whole of the 10 weeks, and really, in terms of his help and enthusiasm, he was just he was invaluable. He knew the people very, very well. He knew the residents very well because he works there permanently. And he was able to get together a collection of people who would be interested in taking part in the project, so I didn't have to do that. Our relationship was me encouraging him to try different techniques and different media and to expand what he normally does. I would personally like to see these sort of things develop further, because instead of people having to, you know, sitting around and watching the television and not really communicating, you get a group of people who meet every week. They start not only to develop their own talents and surprise themselves in what they can do, but also to communicate about themselves and to communicate with each other. There isn't that much communication goes on, I think, in a lot of homes, and I think something like this makes a huge difference to the quality of life that the residents have.
My name's Nigel. I'm the Activities Coordinator from North Leach Court. We've had our visiting tutor, Sarah, who has come to us for a 10-week period, once a week, for a 2-hour session, which tends to be a little bit longer. It's gone very, very well. They've produced some really, really good stuff. And they've learnt, and I've learnt, because I've not done the kind of artwork that she's done before. And now I quite happily do it even, you know, when she's not here. I continue that. And the group gels very, very well together. We will have a regular art slot. Now it's been sort of pinned up that a Thursday is an art job. Then it will continue. It will continue every Thursday.
In my sessions, I helped care workers to put together a newsletter. This was a new venture for the home, and it was a way of helping to celebrate what was already going on, for the residents to contribute in all sorts of different ways. The care workers in the home were in a particularly good position to draw out material from the residents because, of course, they had contact with them every day. And the newsletter became somewhere where those little stories that they were told, perhaps while the resident was getting dressed, were able to be converted into an item in the newsletter.
It's been a really successful project so far. Where it's worked best is where it's had a lot of support from management and where staff have been really committed. The artists have all developed brilliant relationships with the care assistants and the activity coordinators, and that has worked really, really well. There's also, once this first phase of delivery is finished, there's also a network so that activity coordinators don't get stale in the job, that every second month they come away, they have more training, they learn more techniques to take back to their workplace and use, and also mix with other activity coordinators. It can be a bit of an isolating role sometimes.
put can't in your pocket and take out try.